what's the thing that Sam Reich keeps saying? Oh, come on. Basically, like an appetizer, like a warm up thing.
Mm.
As soon as someone says it, I'll think of it because every time I hear him say it, I like analyze the words because they're French, I think, and I just think of it like,
Amuse bouche.
yeah, amuse bouche. Yeah, I don't know
Amuse
why I
bouche.
analyze it, but I latch onto it. Yeah, this is what like the show is. Like this is what in the show this is an amuse bouche.
That sounds like a cool title for something.
Yeah, the Brady from Hello Internet has all his corners. This is the amuse bouche corner.
Mm-hmm.
I will take up that mantle since he is not.
Yeah.
Well, what are we feeling?
Well, currently what I'm feeling is the wonderful texture on this vertical mouse that I have.
I'm happy to talk about Enneagrams because like on my own I was thinking about Enneagrams today, like in part because I was realizing, oh, I forgot to re-listen to the whole playlist, but also because I unironically asked Tarbuck, does Tevya have type 6 Enneagram
Mm-hmm.
from Fiddler on the Roof? So I've got that on the top of my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like probably at least 50% of my time since 2020 and maybe even earlier is like taken up by typology.
Hmm.
Like it's
Gotcha.
a lot of my brain space, so
I can see that, like, as someone who was one of those people who take a bunch of quizzes about typology, like,
Yep.
like, I mean, typology in the very, like, what does, like, what character is your favorite? What does your favorite character in Harry Potter or something say about you kind of stuff? Like, I understand.
I hope Luna would talk about me.
real quick, do you think there's a correlation between that and like also feeling the need to make Picrews a lot or enjoying that sort of thing?
That's a good question.
Correlation, but it's not super strong because I have no desire to make such a thing.
I think
I've
it's.
made like a whole bunch this last week.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah. I also feel the like once I get onto Pit Crew, I'll just scroll and scroll and scroll until I find ones that I want to make and
Hmm.
I'll just spend my time doing that. I think I agree with Tarbuck that correlation but not necessarily inherently linked.
Hmm.
I
Just
don't know what goes with it. Like my initial thought is like interest in like dress up, fashion, or maybe even storytelling because there's some interesting stories you can tell if you find the right pit crew.
Hmm.
Like stories that you can tell in the specific decisions that you make, what poses you're giving the characters and stuff, what
Yeah.
faces, expressions they're having and such. I'm
this
not
looks really
entirely sure.
nice.
Oh yeah, like I've done that like specifically with ones with two characters. Like a lot
Hmm.
of them will use like the same format, but you can do vastly different pit crew images depending on what poses you use and expressions.
Uh-huh. There's particular ones I find sometimes where it's like there's so many options I like, even if I'm just trying to make like here's some version of me. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
end up I just have to render out multiple because like I can't choose.
Yeah, I totally understand. I think I've got like 10 different pit crews of me, like in various forms, just because the different art styles they give different vibes.
Yeah. It's like it's sort of like pulls on like one's own internal aesthetics from a lot of different angles. It's
Mm-hmm.
like kind of satisfying to see more of it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives physical representation of the different aspects of you
Hmm.
in a way that doesn't require like a purchase or like sort of how do I explain it? Like without fully committing physically to that identity or to that style, to that look, it's putting into like physicality the different vibes of you, the different like ah, versions of you that exist within you that you don't always express.
Yeah. And I guess I guess that sort of does tie into like typology a little bit because like after being with it for a while, there starts to become a thing of like, okay, it's not just I'm this type in this given system, and then it sort of then becomes like this layered thing of like, okay, what's like the second most type? It's kind of like harmonics with a sound or something. Like they kind of trail off, but they're still there, especially if you've been staring at the same thing for a while.
Yeah, because in most typology, people aren't just one thing. Like, one like category doesn't fully describe them. There are moments where they're like a different thing, or maybe even in between. Like, no one fits into a box strictly.
I think that this like categorizing yourself impulse that is sort of built into typologies is comes from the desire to communicate yourself with some kind of exactitude.
Yeah, well, exactitude and brevity, because like when you introduce yourself to someone, like you have to, it's basically constant advertisement. You need to summarize yourself in as few words as possible, but also get the most interesting aspects of you across. That's why I think people latch on to things like astrology so much. Like, you know, if you already understand that language, then you are able to get across, okay, this is my main features, and like in like basically a couple words.
Urcoy, do you want to talk about the astrological basis of what's it called? The Homestuck typing system?
Oh yeah, astrological base. Well, okay. That's a bit funny because it's not exactly the base. Like, how do I explain
Wasn't
this?
there
There's
a
these
wasn't there a Homestuck typing system website called The True Horoscope or something like that? What's your
the
true
extended Zodiac.
Oh.
So where this comes from is in universe there are these aliens. They're called trolls, but then they have
like the internet troll?
yeah, that's the joke. But they're actual aliens. But they have different blood colors, 12 of them. And then this is like Andrew Hussey's tendency with the stuff they make is like pulling on cultural ideas and iconography and such. So these 12 trolls each have one of the astrological symbols, and that's like in universe that's where they come from, like it originates from these aliens.
We're looking at the extended Zodiac website right now.
Uh, and then also within universe, there's like aspects which are like these. That's sort of like the magic system of the story. So in combination with the aspect, you know, you have these 12 casts and then these 12 aspects, and that's like 144 different signs times two, because there's also like this lunar sway thing. It's a lot. Like this is definitely like an entire lecture or episode you could do on this. But yeah, basically the extended Zodiac was made after the fact, like after the comic had wrapped up, as sort of a fun thing you could do.
Dear God, like imagine like that makes sense, and like I'm kind of glad that it was made after the fact, because all the work it would have taken
Yeah.
to go into that sort of detail while writing a story. Oh my, like I'm looking at all the images and I am like, that is so much. That is brain overload. I'm not taking any of this in.
Yeah. On the one hand, Hussey is like that nuts. Like they definitely could, but a lot of that would have been grunt work that's unnecessary. Like they're much more improvisational as a writer, even though pretty much everything they set up they tied back later. Like it's kind of crazy how Homestuck is like it has very like less than 10 plot holes probably. And
Oh,
it's
that's
extremely
interesting.
long runtime, but yeah.
Wow.
I just know that there is some total freak out there, one of a class of freaks, who knows the name of every one of these extended Zodiac on sight.
You are a
Probably.
freak, and I love you, and I respect you, and I adore you.
Respect
Yeah.
isn't real.
We'll talk about that later, because I think I've come to an understanding with respect, but that's another episode.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're
But
talking.
either way, I love you. You're loved.
Do you want to talk? All right, what interests you more? Talking about Enneagram or talking about class specting?
I've not done any reading on class specting, so like if we talk about class specting, this whole episode will be teach Vamp about class specting.
Take it from the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think more setup for that would be better.
I
It's like Oro
have
has a really good document on it. I also wrote some more stuff on it. There's quite a lot.
I bet Urcoy, you've even like linked to it. I am terrible at doing my homework. I've been terrible about doing anything like follow-up social related the past couple weeks. So I am
Mhm.
very ill equipped and have not read up on any of that.
That's understandable. I mean, a lot of stuff people send me. Sometimes I ask people to send me stuff because like in the moment it feels exciting, but then I just don't read it or watch it or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like there's things that I feel like a piece of crap for saying it and for being this way. But there are things where it's like, yeah, send it to me. And then I leave it in my unread messages for weeks on end. Cause like I'll get to it. I don't have the brain space to do it. I'll get to it. When do I get to it? I don't know. I can't determine when that time will be. It will be sometime probably. Who knows when?
Mhm. It's like the interest says yes, but the autism says nah.
Yeah, there's other things to worry about. Like, NotAVampyre. Like, that is my life right now. I need to do all those things. Like, I have to consume every bit of that musical that in existence before I can do anything else. I need to, because when someone sends me something, it oftentimes feels like an obligation, and therefore it's like work. And so, in
Mhm.
order to get into the mindset of doing it, I need to get into the work mindset. And if I don't want to work, then I'm just not going to do it. And that's how I've got like, I don't know, 11 unread messages on my phone right now. It's one of those moments where it's like, I feel like I'm a crazy person. I'm pretty sure I'm crazy in this aspect, but it's like, I can't be the only one.
No, I relate to that a lot. I mean, I guess, yeah, you putting it in terms of like work, it's like, I already worked today. I just got home. I want to
Yes.
recover from work and do fun stuff. And it's like media that is unfamiliar, that hasn't gotten the hook in already, is work as opposed to play.
100%. Like, I've noticed this within myself. Like, I can't build up the startup cost, the startup energy to get into something new until I have some sort of familiarity with it. Like I found myself running into that earlier today, where I was looking into this vampire novel series that I've no connection to. I needed to understand the story and where it was going and the specific beats of it before I could make a decision about am I going to look into this or not. Because you can't just tell me, oh, this is a vampire story that seems like it'll be right up your alley. That won't interest me. That'll make it feel like work to try to get into. And exactly like you said, I've already worked today. I don't want to put more work into it. And so trying to open myself up to experiencing something that I have no connection to, no prior knowledge of, like that's work. Like trying to spin plates of social the connections, that's work too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but there's work and then there's work. You know?
It's all kind of the same. Like well, okay, no, it's not.
It's
I'm
really
a liar.
not.
I'm a liar. Well,
'Cause-
it's work in different ways, I guess.
Yeah, there's work and there's work.
Mhm.
Like, work, in one sense, is my least favorite thing. I would literally rather die than have a normal job.
Okay, there's work and then there's medicine.
Mm.
Because for me, socialization, good. Tastes bad, though.
medicine tastes bad.
Yeah.
High five.
High five. Yeah. Yeah.
There's work that is like having a job and I hate it and would rather die. And then there's work, the thing that is more fun than fun.
Wait, what? Hold on there. I might have to take back the high five. What?
Okay, there's having a job, which is sucky and bullshit, and we agree what that is.
Yeah, we agree on that aspect.
And then there's work, which is I am creating something, and I enjoy that more, or not necessarily creating something, like from a certain perspective, like analytically watching a movie is work. You are doing labor. You are doing mental labor of unpacking the themes and ideas of a thing. And that is more fun than fun.
Okay. When you explain it that way, that makes sense to me. And I think I agree, because that's exactly what I'm going through with Tanz der Vampire, which I'm probably saying wrong because I'm not studying German. I don't know German. But
Oro, sound off in the comments.
yeah, tell me how bad I'm doing. Where, like, it is technically work to be analyzing it and to be thinking about the themes and what each character, like, what their decision means, but it doesn't, like, but it's fun. It's more fun than going to a day job and sitting at a desk for 8 hours doing stuff that ultimately doesn't matter to me except for the capacity that it has to pay my paycheck.
And if it wasn't more fun than, say, RuneScape, then you would be doing RuneScape instead. If it wasn't more fun than Power Wash Simulator, you would be doing Power Wash Simulator instead.
That's true.
That means that it's the most fun thing you could be doing.
Why does it feel like I've been got?
Because you have?
Well, I wasn't even... What?
This is entrapment.
Trapped by fun? That's what's happening here? I guess that's not bad.
I mean, when I encounter traps, I have a good time.
Oh my god.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, I guess if you care about what is being produced, it's like really very, very satisfying. But if you don't, then it's just sapping your energy.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And your attention. Like, it's hard to do much else at the same time other than like maybe listen to some music or something, depending. But like, there's not too much room for multitasking with labor that you don't care about.
Okay, speaking of RuneScape, I am now woodcutting level 91.
Oh my god.
Hey.
You're almost halfway in terms of XP.
I'm almost halfway, and I'm trying, like, I would like to get the pet at some point, but from what I understand, most people get the pet after 99, so that sucks. I'm never getting the pet at this rate.
Rip.
Yeah, like, something that I've been kind of dealing with is, like, chronic tiredness, and I think it in part comes from that, just doing things that are work, like sapping your energy and some like utterly uninteresting, like it tickles a part of my brain that, like, you know, is interested in how systems work and stuff, but it's not more interesting than even playing RuneScape or analyzing musicals, and so it just steals energy, and I think that's why it makes everything else also feel like work, except for the few special interests I have, because like then it just makes me, when I do the calculations, makes me feel like I don't have the energy to respond to messages or to look into videos or links that other people have sent me by my request.
You guys ever have the thing where you get a message and then you look at it and you're like, I really want to do this. I want to watch this video. I want to click on this link or something like that. I don't have the energy in store to be able to do this right now. So I will just stop reading this chat. I'll catch back up on it in a week or two.
Yes, and that is why I have left servers because of this, because I could not keep up.
Oh no, somebody put 3 links in a row in the main chat.
And now everyone's talking about it, but I can't be part of that conversation. And now they're going to talk about it as though everyone has watched it. Ha!
I know that there's like interpersonal news that follows this, and it might even be important. Maybe somebody has cancer. I don't know. I won't know for another couple of days because I need to watch this video before I can continue.
Yeah.
I don't have that as much. Usually, if there's something I really do want to watch, I'll grab it and put it in. I have like a hidden channel in my own server that I just put stuff in.
Uh-huh.
That's the smart way of doing it.
Yeah, is just have some like what would you call that? Like a chute or a conveyor belt on the side that you can just shovel stuff onto.
Yeah.
That's really what I should be doing because
You have too many tabs open?
we're not talking about that.
How many
right now.
tabs do you have
We're
open?
talking about the messages I have unread.
How many tabs do I have open?
I don't know how many. I'd have to walk away and count them.
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to do that?
Is it more than 30?
I don't know. I have no way of knowing. Okay, now I need to check. Hold on.
Wait, who was?
Okay.
I showed somebody how many tabs I had. Was it you guys?
It might have been us.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
I don't know how many. I have nested tabs, so
Oh.
See,
That's going to be even harder to...
I can't.
yeah, it's like a billion basically.
At least I can't do nested tabs. I don't know if that's better or worse. Because then I can at least see how bad it's gotten.
Drop a screenshot in chat so people can see. Just crop the top part.
I know. Yeah.
Did I set you up with power toys?
I don't think so.
Okay, if I hit Control 6, it brings up an instantly loading crop tool that will just like snip a screenshot. But if I hit Control 1, it will zoom in on the desktop feed. And if I hit Control 2, I can draw on that. It's crazy. Power Toys has so many powerful toys.
Who would have
This
thunk?
episode is sponsored by Power Toy.
Yeah.
Our very first sponsor, imagine.
I like just making up sponsors, but they're fake.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So this is a lot.
Yeah. I've found, I don't know if you feel this way, but I find if there is space for tabs, they just will fill up.
Mm.
Which is even more the case with nested tabs.
Yeah. I don't even mean to have so many tabs open. It's just exactly that sort of thing where it's like, I do want to watch this thing. I do want to look into this thing. I need to remember to check this thing. And so it just remains open until I can address it.
Yeah. It seems there's various digital spaces where stuff can overflow to. Like tabs is one of those. The thing I mentioned of like having a place where you just paste links, that would be another. Stuff like that. It's like any place it really can end up in, it kind of just spills out.
Yeah, it's kind of like the storage unit of digital tasks or something, of things to look into.
The backlog. Why do they call it a backlog when it's in front of you? And if it's behind you, like stuff you've already seen, does that make it a front log?
It's a backlog because it's the things that have built up in the past.
I see.
I just made that up.
I mean, it makes sense, though. It makes inherent sense, and I think the definition is similar. I think that's what's meant. I love how this went from, like, typology and, like, that kind of stuff to these are the ways that we're, I don't know, for lack of a better way of framing it, not defective, but, like, our quirks, our idiosyncrasies, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, idiosyncrasies make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of accepted that this is how this podcast will just go. You know, expect detours, basically, just a series of detours strung together.
That's what happens when you have people who have various interests, and this is the tangent cast.
Our interests, as well as the like lens of focus that we have, is really, really wide. And when you do that, do something with breadth like that in a podcast, it's almost like a broadcast.
Oh.
Perfect. Well, this implies the existence of a breadth cast. Or no, a depth cast.
A depth cast. Is a
Deepcast?
depth cast one of like a sort of like autistic, like hyper focus, like we are only allowed to talk about this one
Yeah, we're
topic.
we're fishing in the Mariana Trench right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we just keep having interesting tangents, and I keep tripping down them. So I can't even be the one to be like, this is supposed to be Enneagrams, actually.
Yeah, I mean this is what we talked about last time. That's what flow with the go is. It's like it's you either do it there or probably never again.
Exactly, because the moment will have passed. The interest will have passed. Even if we come back to like, okay, say what you wanted to say about that one thing, you're gonna be like, or well, at least I will be like, no, I don't care to. It's stupid. It doesn't matter anymore because the moment has passed.
Mm-hmm.
That's in part one of my issues with getting interrupted, because it's like if someone interrupts me but then like tries to drag me back to it, then I'm like, no, now I actively don't want to talk about this anymore. Like my interest has dropped, like because we moved on to something else.
Yeah. It released you of the obligation.
Yeah, it released me of the obligation and of the, what do you call it? Like a built up energy, a built up interest that needed released. Like once I put it out there, then it's like I am done. That's why like I think making videos about Phantom of the Opera in part released me from Phantom of the Opera, cuz I did the thing that I always wanted. I explained my love for the show and like the minute aspects of it to the point where now I don't feel like I need to make any more Phantom of the Opera videos, even though I always planned on doing like whole series, like talking about the different versions of the same show. I feel released from it, so I'm probably never gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a positive tension and release kind of.
Yeah, and it makes it difficult then, because like if you typecast yourself, especially like on YouTube, where you make a certain kind of video, then once you're typecasted but your interests go elsewhere, then you're kind of screwed over.
You're trapped.
Yeah, exactly, cuz now you can only make that kind of video, but you don't want to.
I feel like that's sort of where there was almost a shift over time with YouTube where, there's definitely still most channels are this is this person and they talk about this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also starting to see channels who it is about the personality first and foremost. Like that is what is being produced or put out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like CJ the X, for example. It's like I will watch any CJ the X, even if it's about something that has nothing to do with me, because it's CJ the X. I like this person and the thoughts they have about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so powerful. If someone can accomplish that, they basically won the YouTube game. Like, they cracked the code. They won the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why people like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, folks like that have been able to persist beyond the sort of like 2013 Let's Play interest, because like their personalities, like them as people, are interesting enough that it keeps people coming back no matter what video they make.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating to me, especially because I've not accomplished that sort of thing, but it's fascinating.
Sorry, distracting you.
So, okay, that makes me... I have a funny story with Markiplier.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm not 100%, but I
Oh.
think it was that guy.
I've been quiet for a minute because I'm working on something real quick.
Yeah.
Vamp has been watching me work on this thing.
Yeah, Tarbuck's doing something shady back here. I'll call it shady because I think it's something that like I will have a comedically big response to.
Nefarious.
but I have a story with Markiplier. So, I was at, I think it was, no, it was not 2024's BronyCon, no, Ciderfest PonyCon, Ponyville Ciderfest. It was 2023's Ponyville Ciderfest. I was there.
You got there eventually.
Yeah, I had to think about it, okay? Because, I don't know, I still think of it as last year in my mind, but it was not last year. So, I was coming up in the elevator.
You have 84 tabs open?
I knew it was eventually leading to that. Why did you have to edit a bunch of stuff in order to figure that out? Was it really that much to count?
So what? Yes, it was 84 things to count.
Damn, how do I have 84 open? I guess. Well, some of that is RuneScape. Multiples of those are RuneScape, okay?
Okay, look at this. This is the thing that I was doing. I organized it into rows that were 10 long, and then just like cut and move to make so that they were like all in a countable block.
Okay, in my defense, one of those is the YouTube Studio tab, which I always have open. And then the other one is the YouTube homepage tab, which I always have open.
Mm-hmm. Now you just have to defend the other 82.
I'll come back to them. Like, so the ones towards the front are the ones I just today opened tabs of to watch.
I believe you.
Some of them are visual novels that I will come back to.
I have 32 tabs open. I think that's excessive. I want to get that number down to 5 without just closing it. Some of it is like semi-active research pages where I'm like, I just have to read this one page of text and then I can close this tab forever. Because I need to know how to use henna to dye fingernails.
See,
and so I'm looking for 2 historical accounts, and I have the tabs open, and they've been open for 2 weeks, and I just haven't done anything about it. Yeah. But they're right there, and they're waiting for me. But it's a single task thing, and then it's closed. And some of these are like store pages, or like I'm tracking packages or something like that.
Yeah, so some of the stuff's like that for me. Only
you have 84 of them.
Yes,
yeah,
because I need to get around to them, and I'm not on my computer very often. But
you're on your computer every fucking day.
Oh, no, I'm not. Not every day. Like maybe every other day, but
no.
Yeah,
wrong.
Every other day. When was I on the computer yesterday? I wasn't, because the computer was taken. Ha! Got you! Owned!
Okay, then what you need to do is open your browser on your other devices and count your tabs on those.
No. In my defense, I don't have tabs open on my other devices because they
Pull your phone right now.
Oh, I will. Watch this. Where's my phone? It's in my pocket. Hold on. I watch this. All right. Check out how many tabs I have open. None in Fennec because it's a private tab. It closes everything after I close it.
Okay, switch it out from private. Go back to not private. I want to see what's over there. Do you actually have it on private only?
Yeah. I only use Fennec on private, and then these I basically.
No, yeah. Let's have a look at those. 12 tabs on that one.
DuckDuckGo.
Okay. 12 tabs on that one.
This sounds bad, but
okay. Now go to the other one.
No, DuckDuckGo.
Go to Brave.
Yeah, Brave. Okay, I will say in Brave, it's only because I haven't cleared out the tabs. Ha! Only one, and only because I haven't cleared that out yet. I will clear it out
so
right
13.
now. No, this tab is dead. I just didn't clear it. I'm done with this one. I don't need it anymore.
When we started this conversation, you had 97 tabs open.
You don't know.
How about this tablet right here?
I mean, I only have Jackbox. Okay,
we're back up to 97.
Okay, it's not that bad. I don't have a problem. I can stop at any time.
97 tabs.
Okay, hold on. That's nothing. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make Vamp feel a little better about
Yeah, you're
himself. Hold on.
shaming me, but I got nothing on urcoy apparently, maybe, hopefully.
Finding someone who sucks worse does not make you better.
Yeah, it's the African orphan fallacy. I can't be bad if someone's worse than me.
It is. Exactly. Thank you.
It's a lie. You heard it yourselves, folks.
I don't know that
Alright,
my
I
ringtone
have-
came up on the...
I have 230.
Ha!
Oh my god.
We go down with the Titanic together, you and me, urcoy.
Let's go.
I don't think it is, but we'll take it. We'll be the string quartet like musicians playing as the boat sinks. I guess in
Next one's
this
to go.
weird metaphor that I've concocted to make myself feel better.
Hell yeah. I'm curious. I still want to hear that Markiplier.
Oh yeah. So it's a Cider Fest 2023. Last day of it, I think either the Monday or the Sunday I think one of those. I had started a ritual of going out for like Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast and then coming back, and so I was coming back in the elevator, and there was just this guy there with like what looked like an end table. I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention to him. It was just like, oh god, okay, there's a person. Okay, act normal. I've forgotten some aspects of the story already. I say as though it wasn't 2 years ago, but he basically was like I was wearing my ace hat at the time, which is Octavia colors. Just incidentally, I didn't mean it to be like that, but you know that's how it was, and he identified it as Octavia. And I said something to the effect of like, oh, haha, yeah, I guess, God, I can't remember the story, but basically I was trying to like, just be like, haha, I'm not dressed up as Octavia, but it just happened to be that way. And he was like, yeah, I just happened to be, looking like Markiplier, but it just happened to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was confused, like, wait, what? Because I've not really watched Markiplier. I don't really know what he looks like. And so I ended the conversation very amicably, told him have a good day and stuff. And then I immediately went back to my hotel room, looked up what Markiplier looks like, and was like, oh my god, I think I was talking to Markiplier. I don't know for sure, but I think that was Markiplier. He looked exactly like the guy. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just incidentally, like, whoops, I accidentally meant Markiplier in an elevator in Wisconsin. Maybe.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's the story. I wish I remembered more details about the conversation because I wrote it out like immediately to messages and to people who I thought would know Markiplier. Just like, oh my god, I think this just happened.
Love Markiplier.
Just those random stories that you hear where people are like it's that one moment from Singing in the Rain, like, because that's my only staple for this right now, apparently, where Kathy Selby or something is like, yeah, I've never seen one of your movies, but actually, like, secretly she has, but also I've actually never seen one of his videos. Like, I have seen one of his videos, but I don't have him cataloged in my brain, like, this is what Markiplier looks like.
I love you posting L's like this.
What do you... It's not posting else. This is a fun story that I will tell my grandchildren if I ever have any. Or I will tell my nieces and nephews, because I probably will never have grandchildren.
And they'll be like, what's Markiplier?
Yeah, and I'll be like, these damn kids need to get off my lawn. They don't understand what it was like to live in 2013.
Lawn in the far future,
it
like, get
always
off my lawn in the far future presupposes the continued existence of grass.
Well, my lawn will be
climate
my Facebook
apocalypse.
page or whatever equivalent that is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, will that become like one of those antiquated phrases? It's like, what
Oh.
the hell did that mean?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
did this come from?
Mama, what's
Grass.
Facebook?
Yeah, there's like a couple hundred years where people decided to have a whole bunch of unproductive land that was just grass,
Mm-hmm.
and they never actually did anything with it.
Yeah.
A lot of the times they didn't even like play on it or like hang out on it. They just
you weren't allowed to
just
step
looked at
on
it.
it.
And you could be shot if you step on someone else's,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's just a continuous plane of grass.
Yeah.
But not the native grass, because they had to import this grass, you see. At least import the seeds.
Yeah, everybody had their own green squares in front of their houses.
Yep. And behind.
Yep.
See, they were green because
Two
of
of them.
chlorophyll, which is a thing that plants used to make back when there was plants.
Oh my god.
See, this assumes the like persistence of humanity in 100 years.
Yeah. You gotta if you just closed some of those tabs at random,
No, I can't.
but if you just like middle clicked them and you never even saw what they were.
I can't do that. Then I'll forget about
it.
that.
It reminds me of a meme of like, it's like greatest mysteries, and one of them is like, what was that private video on my watch list?
Oh no! Don't get started on the watch list. My watch list is like 600 videos now.
All right, this one I have to cop to. Anybody want to guess how many are in my watch later list?
You've got 1,000 at least.
784.
Damn.
Pretty close.
Wait, you're telling me I'm only 100 out from you? Oh, that's
Yeah.
bullshit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I think what I'm gonna do pretty soon is that I'm going to scroll down by about 2 pages and then just delete everything below that mark.
I would do that, but it's hard because some of the videos that I have in there, like I have in there because I've watched it, but I want to watch it again at some point. I want to hold on to it.
You have to be able to remember stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember things, so I need other things to remember for me. That's why I have so many tabs open.
Uh-huh.
There was at some point I did this sort of like lightning run through thing where I'd just be like, all right, right now, do I care about this? Like, do I care about watching this? No? Okay, get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it actually interesting, or is it just the idea that it's interesting, maybe?
Yeah, there's a thing like that for when you move, which is it's been 2.5 years. I look at one of the boxes in the hallway, and I'm like, I have lived 2.5 years of my life without the contents of this box. I can probably just throw it away without opening it.
I have done that with some of the tabs. Like this is some of the reduced version of that. It has been a little bit, like maybe a week since I did that.
You did? Okay, so a week ago it was worse.
Oh, a week or two, yes.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I said my piece.
Wow.
This has been Tab.
I'm busting chops here and everything, but the reason for my ridiculing this behavior is because I do it and I'm giving you reasons why I think it's bad, which is you've been living it without it for a really long time. Do you even remember what it was? This is the same argument that I have against following the news really closely. I knew somebody who followed the news like religiously every day, multiple hours a day. Something like 7 or so was devoted to the news. And I said, all right, if this is so important, what happened? What were the top headlines 2 months ago? It is February now. What happened in December? If you can't remember, then it wasn't important.
I feel like we have enough outlets of things reaching us at this point. Where like, if there's something big enough to like shake the world, or at least your country or where you're at, or circles relevant to you, you're probably going to hear about it.
Okay, so there's a couple things that I thought of. Okay. One, we've looked at my tabs, but we haven't looked at all the videos that I've downloaded and all the audiobooks I have that in books, like physical books that I have that yet to be read and watched and listened to. That's a huge thing. But
A lot of that is preservational. Like,
Okay.
I'm downloading it because it may cease to exist when I do not download it.
yeah, and that's some of what I do too.
Like acorns for later.
Yeah. that is some of what I do. The other, like the audiobooks, that's not really Acorns for Later. That's just me like, yeah, I'll listen to this, and then I don't get around to it. But something that I just figured out now is that I end up listening to things a lot more when I'm playing Power Wash Simulator. And therefore, my solution is Power Wash Simulator 2 coming out.
Uh-huh.
Yes. That is a secret. That is how I lose all my tabs.
You charge through them while you're power washing.
Yes.
Yeah, you wash them away.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, see? Big brain moment here.
This is... there's another version of this observation, which is that collecting books and reading books are different hobbies that are unrelated.
Absolutely. This is why I can't really go into bookstores or like most stores with media and stories in general, because I will see a book or something and I'll be like, I need to have this because when am I going to come across this again? Like, this is so rare. I need to sock this away in a drawer somewhere. And then like my intention is always to like, you know, read it myself or like watch it myself. But 9 times out of 10, it's mainly the preservation that drives me to do it. Mm-hmm. Like I especially get this with any bootleg to a musical that I'm interested in. I might never watch it, but if I see it posted somewhere, I got to take it, like just in case I do get around to watching it.
Right. I have things like that. Occasionally I will stumble upon a video that I watched a long time ago that was really important or influential to me, and it may disappear.
Yeah.
Because YouTubers have a habit of deleting their entire channels.
Yeah, that's what I did with all of Kirdali's videos. Like, really good Japanese language lesson videos. The creator has passed away, unfortunately. Who knows how long those will be accessible?
Right. Better throw them up on archive.org.
Yeah, exactly. And can I just say, thank God for archive.org. Like,
for now.
Yeah. Like, its existence has given so much that cannot be stated in words. Like, so much that would just be lost to the sands of time. Not even, like, you know, just so many things. Like, a random novel from, like, trash novel from the 1930s. Like, that inspired like, musical adaptations, movie adaptations. No one's looking for that novel, but also no one is publishing that novel, so there's no legal way to access it except for archive.org.
Right, it's out of print.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, archive.org, or since it's a novel, Anna's Archive.
I've not looked into that one.
The Anarchist Archive, Anna's Archive.
Anna's Archive, yeah.
Yeah.
Better than the other Anna.
Yep. I got a lot of stuff from there.
Yeah, I've started getting into the habit of downloading things here and there.
If you don't preserve your own copy of some of this stuff, it will vanish from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's already happened to me.
Many times.
You can't rely on, you know, basically the library of the internet existing in the future.
There's a couple of Endless Jest videos that I wish I had saved. Because they're gone now.
Yeah. Even today, like, there's videos that I sort of just take for granted as they will just always be there. And I have to relearn the lesson every time that no, they will not.
There's a really influential upon me video by Munchie Wears Tiny Hats that he filmed in a shower about how you don't want to take a shower until you're in the shower. And when you're in the shower, you're like, this is great. This is restorative. Why did I ever put off doing this? And you go through this cycle like hundreds of times.
Man, I feel so called out. That's just literally me.
And there are many restorative things that you can do that feel great when you're doing it. But prior to doing it, you're like, you would rather do anything else. And you if you know that this is coming from your body, You, the mind, master of your body, must rise above this tendency that you have.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take the agency away from yourself and give it to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so good.
It do be like that.
That's I mean, that's sort of the laundry thing I was talking about the other day of like, it's like, no, we're not agonizing over doing the laundry. We are simply doing the laundry. We are now folding it. It is now happening. Oh, look, it's done.
Yeah, it's that, what's his face? Shia LaBeouf just saying, just do it. And you just do it. You just have to do it. Don't think of any reasons to or not to do it. Just turn yourself into automaton mode and do it.
A lot of times when I am just doing those things, I activate my like circuit of defiance. Like I can feel that there is a resistive force, something suppressing this. And if I treat that as though it is external to me, then it is way easier to act against it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like
somebody's trying to mind control me to stop me from doing the thing.
yeah.
Fuck you, evil overlord.
Look, you catch your reflection in the mirror as you're walking by, and you're like, "You don't tell me what to do. You don't own me. You don't own me."
Oh, if only I could, like, if only.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a really powerful hack. Like, if I could just do that. There's so many things where it's...
I mean, I think barriers to doing that sort of thing really are, like, ideas. Because, like, we tend to be wrapped in many ideas and many layers of ideas, or, like, conceptions of the world and of our own mind and how it works, to the point where many of those layers are kind of invisible until you start peeling them apart, or, like, dissolving those layers by just like, wait a minute, is that even real? Could I just like change that thought to not be that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels like hacking yourself in some way. Like, if I just like put on like a video explaining like Matilda the First, like arguably Queen of England. If I just put on a video like that and start doing my, like putting my laundry away, suddenly I get into a mode where it's like I am operating on inertia of I am putting laundry away. That is what I do. I am cleaning my room all of a sudden now. Like, need to hack brain to get it into that mode. Like, instead of existing on the inertia mode of like, I don't want to do anything that seems like work.
You might say it's easier to do something when you're already doing it.
Yeah. I mean, and there's like a whole like a process, like the thing people suggest for like neurodivergent, especially people with ADHD, to do if they're having issues with doing like a big like task, is to do a smaller work like productivity task first, and then they can inertia themselves into the bigger task. Like, because you're already in that mode. Do you have to clean the whole kitchen? Well, okay, start with making your bed or like putting the laundry away. Now you're just suddenly in cleaning mode, and so cleaning the kitchen is just the natural next step.
It's like an internal like Katamari Damacy of energy or something.
Yes.
100%. By the way, I tried playing that game on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can't remember which one of it was, but one of them. Controls fucking bullshit. I could not do it. I wanted to play the game ever since I saw the Grumps doing it. Could not do it with the controls. I had to give up.
Yeah,
And I'm mad about it.
I feel like there's a lot of games like that where it's like, oh, that looks fun, and then you go to play it, and the controls and the like how the physics actually are tuned is like just way off from like what feels good.
Just looks so much better when someone else is doing it.
I mean, I would like to try it and see if it is, if it's the same or if it's or if it's been changed or something like that. But like, I've got like a dozen versions of Katamari downloaded.
I wish
I
you
have
would
a bunch
have
of
told me, because I would love to play Katamari. I think I would love Katamari if it wasn't for the bullshit controls.
My dear, I have 1,700
Where were
emulated
you
games.
like 3 months ago? Not here, apparently.
I already had this.
Yeah, but you should have told me. Instead, what you told me when I explained to you how bullshit the controls were, like, yeah, it's an old game. It's bullshit. That's all you had for me.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would say.
I mean, like the little SIC at the end, like, like summarized phrasing there, but yeah, basically.
Sick there,
Yeah.
sick in brackets means there has been an error in this quote that I have left in. And this isn't a transcription error where they got it right and I got it wrong. I'm acknowledging that they got it wrong and I have left it unchanged. That's what that means.
Oh. I feel like I should have known that, and I did know that at one point, but for some reason I have mistranslated it, and so now you can put sick at the end of my sentence.
I'm just way more into dunking on people than you are.
Apparently. I mean, I like, in my head, I dunk on people all the time, but as soon as I try to do it, like, IRL, I am just too much teddy bear, and I stumble and fall, and, you know, I just kind of curl up into a ball and, you know, suck on my thumb like a little child, and here I go with this weird metaphor now.
You need to hate more.
I hate.
Get my Oro voice. I hate you.
I feel like the nerdy kid on the playground. Like, yeah, I fuck. I say in a weird tone, as like obviously pointing out that I've never said this word in my entire life, but I'm trying to be awesome.
Yeah. Hating is fun, you know?
Hating is not fun. Hating is addictive, and I hate to hate, but some hate is essential. Like, people say, oh, don't be a hater, but some people deserve to be hated, but it's not fun to hate because a lot of times hating, it gets you nowhere because it's like, yeah, even if it's righteous hate, nothing will be done. It's a whole thing.
I feel like there's sort of like different flavors of it, and like before meeting like Oro and Tarbuck, etc. Pretty much the only hate I knew was like this very toxic negative thing where it's like it should just be avoided at all costs. Because like anytime any members of my family would get mad, it was never a pleasant thing at all. But then meeting Oro, it's like just casually like, fuck you. Like that type of thing. It's like, it still has the burn to it. It's like, you know, spicy, but it's not heavy. Yeah, it's like a very light thing that kind of like moves through you and kind of pulls energy outward, I guess.
You can feel the difference between like conventional hatred as you have known it and righteous fury, parentheses, it's actually just hatred still.
I think I struggle with differentiating it because I'm just making up bullshit as to why I think this.
Yeah, you're more
like,
speculating about your
'cause
own mind than reciting facts about it.
Yeah, I'm just guessing at this point. My assumption is that internally I have a sort of like unchallenged and unchallengeable at the current state, like reigning champion of love is the best for everything, and so it feels bad to hate even when it's righteous. Well, no, not even when it's righteous. It doesn't feel bad to hate when it's righteous, but I have trouble discerning like the difference between hate. I don't know. I don't understand it. I know there's a difference, but I don't understand it. Like, urcoy, sorry.
Orocoy.
Yeah, urcoy.
We are the same person the whole time.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow, you do a really good urcoy voice. Like, you explaining the difference between, like, the different hates, it's like, I get it, but I don't. Like, yes, it does feel like there's something different, but I can't identify what that difference is. Like, why is it different?
Yeah, the why, don't know if I could answer that. I only know the flavors, where it's like, there's the lighter one that like moves and sort of, it's like an explosion. It's like, there's a lot of heat, but then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the other one, which is like this kind of like sticky quality that's like, it just keeps like burning further down. It's like an acid on your skin.
Like, kind of a festering hate.
Yeah.
I think I kind of get that because I think I've got that for a lot of people where it's like...
A lot of people in your job, for instance?
Well, not a lot of people, but like specific people where like usually it's people who I have issues with, but it can never be addressed because of the kind of people they are, where they will not be receptive if I bring up any like issues I have with them.
Kill them.
And so like the only option is to fester about it.
Or kill them.
I don't want to do that amazingly enough, question mark?
I wonder how many of these episodes we'll have where Tarek is endorsing murder.
Tarbuck is very firmly pro-murder. This is one of the most, like, loud elements to me, is that I'm very pro-murder.
Yeah, and hence why I will never invite you to work where I do. Oh, dear God.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to do what you do.
Yeah, it's like addressing certain people, it feels like you kind of need some kind of silver bullet.
Or lead bullet.
With them.
Get out of my house.
Yeah, it really is like they're kind of like Halloween monsters where it's like you have to use something very specific to like actually put them on the back foot and make them change their behavior.
Well, yeah, because otherwise they'll just roll off of them, like, and like oftentimes they'll like see themselves as the victim in some way. Like that tends to be a lot of the people that I have ultimate beef with. The people who, like, sort of like anything you say negative about, like even just do something they do, it's suddenly a value judgment on them as a human being.
Yeah, it's like things taken like completely holistically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I think most people could do with like being criticized more and getting used to it. Where it's like it really is just about that thing.
Yeah.
If you're criticized for something, it is that thing, and nothing more, unless there are more problems, which those would also need to be criticized in particular as well.
Yeah, it's learning to divorce yourself from the idea that criticism equals like a condemnation of you as a human being. A lot of people have this, especially in relation to the things that they like. If the things that they like gets criticized, then suddenly they are a bad person and should die if they like that thing. And therefore they have to defend that thing as though it is their life.
Okay, but sometimes them liking that thing is just a symptom of how they're a bad person and should die.
That's an entirely separate thing and does not count in this.
Well, in that case, yeah, that's like a symptom. So it's like the problem is not the media.
Yeah, if you're into fascist shit, you're into fascist shit, and that is an entirely you problem.
Right, but what I was getting at is before you were a fascist, you were an asshole. Mm-hmm. It's just you're applying your asshole to different like scales of reality, and so that is the way that manifests.
Yeah, whereas liking specific versions of like Phantom of the Opera, because apparently that's the thing that I keep going back to. Mm-hmm. That like being told that your favorite version is not good is not a value judgment on you as a person. And I think a lot of people don't have that understanding. They don't have that internal structure to understand that. And so they take any criticism of something adjacent to them as personal criticism, as symptomatic criticism. Like, I made this mistake here on this one thing, and therefore I am a bad person.
Mm. What you're starting to orbit is the phantasm.
Yeah.
Urcoy, were you around when I was really obsessed with the phantasm?
I don't know if I was, but I am familiar with the concept from Philosophy Tube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, for everybody else, phantasms are a class of idea that forms a sort of perception filter. Like, it usually goes that something happens and it feels as if something else is happening. And then that shortcut gets like you forget that a shortcut is even happening there. And so someone says, like if somebody says that your taste in media is bad, it feels like the essence of you is being criticized because you have already decided that liking this media is the perfect encapsulation of you as a person and your taste and everything. And so criticizing your taste is also saying that you are evil and should be destroyed. And because it feels that way, you're going to respond to it as though it is that way. Mm-hmm. That's an example of a phantasm.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not paying attention, it's so easy to act as though your phantasms are real. Like, you really have to be paying attention every time to catch, oh, it feels like this is happening, but it's not. Like, when I think about logically, it's not happening. I understand that it feels that way emotionally, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the most common example that everybody can be familiar with is you have all met someone who has, in quotes, chosen to believe something. You cannot actually choose your beliefs. Your beliefs are the things that you think are true and false. And so you have to go on like evidence and reasoning and stuff like that in order to establish the things you think are true and false. If you can choose a belief, choose to believe something, what you are doing is not a belief. What you are doing is a phantasm. If you believe something, even when I prove to you that it is false, that's not a belief, that's a phantasm.
Yeah.
And and arguments do not work on this kind of thing. You can't actually reason someone out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. Mm-hmm. And it's called a phantasm because nothing of substance can get through. Only the phantasm. That's what rhetoric is. Rhetoric is the manipulation of phantasms.
Goddamn.
And that's why rhetoric is the anti-philosophy.
Yeah, that's why, like, there cannot be a real debate between rhetoric and reason and logic, because the phantasm will always win. The phantasm will always sound so much better to you because that's what you already think.
Provided you're the person who has the phantasm.
Yeah, exactly.
To everybody else, you sound like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I mean, we see this like with U.S. politics, like, you know, the whole 2010s, like.
Hey, now we see this with all politics, because politics is just like, interpersonal relationships at scale.
Yeah, but like, I'm a U.S. citizen, so like my only I am done. My only perspective is from U.S. stuff, and the thing that I always think of is the 2010s, where like the thing that people would say is like, debate me on the platform of free idea exchange. Well, every single time, rhetoric won, not reason, not logic, always the rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's not about what is most logical. It's about what you already think, and like what sounds like it's already, like, what is supporting what you already think.
Mm-hmm. This is like why I don't know if I've seen like a proper debate in the sense that like both parties are trying to get to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, effectively, every debate I've ever seen is just who has the best rhetoric, and that's it. Whoever has the best rhetoric wins.
Yeah.
It's just a game.
Yeah. That's really a lot of what it ultimately comes down to. Who sounds the nicest, who sounds the best on air? Like, thinking of, again, like, you know, U.S. Focused mind, the debate of, like, what was it, 1962 or something, between John F. Kennedy versus Richard Nixon. Well, if you listen to it on the radio, you would think Nixon did the best. Well, if you watched on TV, though, John F. Kennedy looked better on TV, so you'd think Kennedy did the best. The fact that there's such a disconnect, such a variation between what medium you consumed the debate on, like, really shows that, like, it depends on how it was delivered, not really what was actually said.
You're describing the halo effect, the fact that, like, attractive people just, you believe them more and you like them more and you give them more trust just because they're attractive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just something
Yeah.
entirely separate from the actual message, what's actually being said.
Yeah, and I think moving yourself away from that is like extremely uncomfortable because people who suck are able to say things that are true, and people who are generally pretty good are also able to say things that are not true or have some kind of error.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like very destabilizing if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're used to the game of like teams and association, where it's like suddenly you're breaking down those teams, and it's like, oh, if I'm now seeing this thing to be true, but it plays into the wrong team as far as like what the teams look like in this moment. So it's like, what do I do now?
And the whole problem of this thing is that it's really, really hard to know, to be able to identify your own phantasms.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost unassailable
Yep.
because necessarily it short circuits your capacity for belief and reasoning.
Wait, because we all assume that we are the most logical people around, that we are not dictated by phantasms. We're not dictated by silly things like appearance and vanity and such. We know what is really important. We operate on logic and reason. It's everyone else who has the problem.
Everybody believes that they weigh things in the best way possible because if you believed that you weigh things suboptimally, then you would weigh, like if you knew there was a better method, then you would use that, in theory.
And it's really hard to accept like the concept of I am choosing to do the less good thing.
And that's
it is like, I mean, sometimes you have to, but it is really hard to get to the point where you know you're choosing the less good thing and accept that you are without doing some like extra like gymnastics reasoning to justify it.
Yeah, and you know that thing that I just said about how everybody believes that their line of reasoning is sound, and because if you knew there was a better way, you would do it instead. That's not true. Did you catch that that's not true? It's directly contradicted by the phantasm that we just described, because part of what it is to be consumed by the phantasm is you don't actually believe in reasoning, not when it comes, like, not in a way that actually leads to your actions, which means you don't actually believe in reasoning. Even if you say you do, unless you do it, you do not believe in it. Most people do not believe in reasoning, but they do believe in reasons. And they believe also that reasons are opinions.
Yeah. I guess the really weird thing is like you can't exactly see the threshold of your own reasoning without like triangulation. It's like a bit of a black hole where it's like you can't conceive of what an actual like further capacity would be specifically. Like you can think of the idea of having better reasons, but if you could actually think of that better reasoning, then that means that would imply you already have that reasoning.
Yeah, you'd have to be open to possibly being wrong and that other people could have better reasoning to you to even start that triangulation, to even do that compare and contrast. But I think a lot of people operate on the us versus them sort of like narrative where it's like, it's basically like what Tarbuck was saying, like teams. Like it's basically all sports teams where it's, well, you root for this person, I root for that person. Therefore, like, because you don't root for my person, you must be inherently wrong. So there never is that sort of like step of but let me compare my reasoning, like my mode of operation to you and see which one actually wins out.
And to a person who's highly saturated in this kind of thing, getting them to do an actual line of reasoning where they don't jump over a bunch of steps is really hard because they're not used to it. They're not practiced in it. This has gone from typology to more attention disorder stuff to complaining about the general public.
See, I was bringing it back to typology in my head because I was remembering what that one guy said about type 8s, where if you ask them to explain why they're doing what they're doing, they won't have an actual reason. Like, they won't be able to describe why they do what they do. They'll only be able to say, like, I am just doing this.
I mean, I think this does tie into typology pretty well, because, like, part of it is that you can't exactly see yourself. It's pretty difficult because you're like, it's these very large, like what a personality is kind of like this, it's this very big loop that you can't, in the moment, you can't exactly see that it's happening. It's like, it can be over the course of like a year or two of like one of these recurring issues that'll happen to you because of some way that you're engaging with reality and all of the things that will manifest over time.
Think of the things that we complain about, or like that at least I have been complaining about, as very type 6, like very like identifying with an out or in group as a way to deal with your fears, I guess, when it comes to Enneagrams at least. And that's why I was kind of thinking back to another reason why I was thinking back to Enneagrams.
Yeah, the head types are interesting. The like,
Well, okay, but before we dive into that, we have to actually like introduce the subject. So there's this like
Oh, do we have to?
there's this like 2,500-year-old personality typing system, and it's been iterated upon a whole lot, and it got repopularized in like the 60s or something like that because some guys wrote a bunch of books about how these are personality types. But in the initial wave, they weren't actually writing about personality types, they were writing about problem types. This is a typology system for problems that you have, and when you solve that problem, hopefully, you have moved on from that. And so your next biggest problem becomes the thing. And there usually is a cycle to these things, and the shape that cycle makes is called the Enneagram. Because there's 9 of them. There's 9 major archetypes, but like most people think of them as personality types because they are identifying the coping mechanisms for these problems, but it's actually the problem that is at the heart of this thing. And they're broadly put into 3 categories. The anger type, also called the body type or instinct type, the fear type, also called the head type, and the guilt or shame type, also called the gut or the heart type. Pardon. And there's 3 in each category, and they all kind of attack different. They attack the same essential issue from a different direction. The types within a cluster are more similar to each other than the clusters are to each other.
Yeah, they're more similar. Like a 4 and a 5 are much more different than a 4 and a 3 are. Like the clusters, like numbers that are in a cluster are way more similar than they are to the one next to them more necessarily.
Yeah, so it goes 1, 8, 9 are together, 7, 6, 5 are together, 4, 3, 2 are together.
Do we want to list our clusters? Or what our numbers are?
I don't remember any of that stuff. I wrote it down.
I think of mine
when I identified
a lot.
I mean, I remember what my top one is.
What's your top one?
Okay.
What's your top one, and explain what that is?
I'm curious.
So I actually want to go through these in order.
Boring.
Because I wrote a really good description of notes for this, and I want to popularize it. It's probably on screen. Maybe I'm giving urcoy some work to do.
Look at this Keener doing homework. What a nerd.
Yeah.
Like, I see you've got 0 through 9.
Yeah, because 0 is the format. There's a sentence of cause, a sentence of cope, and a suggested method to overcome. Type 1, you believe, the cause is the world is unjust and unruly. The cope is to be perfect and pure, because the rules dictate acceptable targets of rage by which you navigate. To overcome this, learn to break the rules sometimes and release control.
See, this is the what do you call it? The template that I like to take with poetry and prose. Definitely not my Enneagram. Like, I get it, but no, disagree. Not mine.
So the one is like rules obsessed.
Yeah, like the rules will tell you who's okay to put your anger on. Like, and you must also follow the rules so that anger cannot be put on you.
Yeah, a common manifestation of this is people who have very strong opinions about who it's okay to genocide.
Yeah, and also like cops, basically.
Yeah.
Cops are into this.
Type 2, being legitimately loved is impossible. To cope with this, be needed, because you can't ask for love directly. You don't look out for your own needs. The overcome strategy is to prioritize yourself. This is my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Which is why it as you read the rest of the list, you're gonna be like, think back on the 2. The opener, like, we opened strong, because this is my problem. So I can I can go at it really hard. Being legitimately loved is impossible. Be needed instead, because you can't ask for love directly. It doesn't work. And as a result of this, you don't look out for your own needs. The way out is to prioritize yourself. I realize I just repeated it, but I'm repeating it for emphasis.
Yeah. I think I have some tendencies for it, but it's not mine. It's definitely yours. Like,
I feel that to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah. It, like, anytime I think, oh, I feel like this, like, I just have to remind me, it's a little bit African orphan fallacy, but still, it's like, yeah, you are kind of the poster child for this.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like if you look it up in the dictionary, that's, like, your name's right next to it.
To the point where when somebody expresses attraction to me for reasons that I didn't trick them into, I dismiss that as invalid. It's like, does not compute. That can't be true.
Someone has to prove it to you.
I don't think you're lying, but I do think you're wrong.
Yeah, you think they're, like, confused or something. They're not making it up, but, like,
yes, you
there's
have
something wrong here.
You have made a categorical error in how you believe a person should relate to me by liking me.
Yeah, listeners, you get the sense that Enneagrams are not, like, a quirky personality type. It's where your flaws are.
Okay, so number 3. Your cause problem, your inciting incident is that the love of others is gated behind achievement. And therefore, you cope with this by earning recognition instead. You achieve in order to demonstrate your value to other people. The way out is to affirm your traits as enough over achievements. If somebody tells you that your traits are more valuable than your achievements and actually, like, convinces you of this so that you believe it, not phantasm about it, but believe it, that will cure you of this problem.
I am enough.
You gotta be enough.
Wonderful.
You gotta be enough.
Yeah, 2 and 3 both hurt so far. But I guess we'll see what the rest look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a long video series about this, but I think the notes doc here does a clearer job, because the guy starts out the video series by being like, I'm going to talk about problems and I'm not going to talk about types of people, and then he immediately talks about types of people and doesn't stick to his format of, like, here's what the problem is, here was the coping strategies, here's the way out.
Which one is that?
I think that's the one that you linked to it, the Lost Man or something.
Local Script Man?
Local Script Man.
Yeah. I don't know where it got Lost Man from.
I mean, we all got this from Beatrice. We all got this from
hold on.
Trixie
Don't
the Golden
include
Witch.
me in this.
Enneagram?
I got this from Local Script Man.
Yeah, okay. So, this entered into our sphere because Trixie the Golden Witch watched this video series and took notes on it and then like made a video kind of about it. And then everybody else watched that and watched the source video. And then somebody from watching that sent me the source video. And then I was really loud about it for about a month. At the end of that month, I had this nice note document, but that's how it entered our household.
That's how Enneagram did?
Yeah. Now,
I've been into this for like a decade.
okay,
you're
not
the OG.
not entered into our household, but that's why we're loud about it now. That's why we're talking about it now instead of back then. If
Yeah,
you'll
that's
remember from the Neurotype line, another podcast that Urcoy and I were both on,
Yeah.
like I first encountered Enneagram in 2002.
I just thought of something really mean. Like, I was about to say, like, and I'm gonna say it now because I thought it was funny. Sound off in the comments if you're like me and never watched Neurotype Line.
I mean, honestly, fair enough. I'm like scared to watch back at that.
I feel so loved right now.
What trail of debris have I left behind?
Have I not spent enough time in this episode talking about how I cannot do obligational consumption?
I'm not asking you to. I'm just being sad when you're not doing it.
Stop! Because I will type 4 on you on this.
Speaking of type 4,
Oh yeah.
an emotional wound happened at some point in your past. You identify with that pain as though it is supposed to be there, and you intellectualize your feelings. To stop doing this, a way out is to realize that your problems are in fact problems and not character traits.
But I mean, like, it builds character.
No, it fucking doesn't. That's
makes-
fake.
Like, pain makes you stronger, right?
Building character is fake. Pain makes you stronger. Also fake. You think somebody like, and everyone does in fact believe that this is fake.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Do they though?
Okay, when somebody over 30 twists their ankle and then never walks right again, and you just accept that this is the way that it's gonna be, because when you get older, things break and then
Yeah.
they never heal right forever.
This is just normal, right? This is what's supposed to happen when you get old.
And everybody accepts this.
Yeah.
So what doesn't kill you can just cripple you forever.
What, I don't know, like, what doesn't kill you? Like, that's just the cross you bear. That's just your pain for your life.
All right, you're doing the bit for too much, and you're
am.
sounding too sincere.
I am, yeah. Like, I think it's in part a little bit sincere, in part another bit, like, speaking as for, I don't know, because, like, I struggle with this, because, like, I feel like I haven't been told by people I trust, like, yes, this is what you're supposed to do, and I've internalized it. Like, this is what makes you strong, though.
But it's not.
Yeah, I think wounds are like electrical prods that like force you to have particular reactions to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we read that as, oh, that's like character. I'm building character. No, you're like forcing character out that is screaming in pain.
Yeah.
You're forcing characterization out. This is how you scream in pain.
Yeah, you don't have to stab yourself to get that stuff out. You can explore that yourself and express it in normal ways that don't hurt.
See, I say all these things with the understanding and with the perspective that 4 is my least strong of these types.
Okay, but you also fundamentally believe that you're a bad person, because anytime you get like drunk enough, you're like, you just start repeating, I'm bad though.
Okay, but in my defense, I haven't gotten drunk enough like that in 10 years. that doesn't mean anything, though. It just sounded right in my head.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's also still there.
Yeah. I mean, I say this, like, with the understanding that of the heart types, I am most like 4, even though it's not currently my strongest. It is, like that.
It's really strongly
That
there.
is my heart flaw.
Most people have most of these problems, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just like, how much are they affecting you?
Yeah.
I don't think I moved on from a 4 a long time ago.
Yeah, you don't seem like you're a 4.
Yeah, I think I conquered that one before we met.
How do you feel about it, Urcoy? Like,
B4.
do you feel like it applies to you?
Yeah, there are definitely times where it's like I'm internalizing like at least the thing you said of like I'm just like bad or like I suck or I'm evil or something like that. Like it's hard to let go of. Like
It so is.
Because it's grounding to you. Like that like the wound is a compass by which you are like orienting yourself. If you didn't have the pain, then you feel like you don't have any foundation, but you do because you have other traits.
It in part feels
Yeah.
comforting because if you fail, then you can always reassure yourself, oh, yeah, that's right. It's because I suck. That's just how it is. It's entirely out of my control. I can't do anything about this because I inherently suck.
But that's not true. Nobody inherently anythings.
you don't anything.
Every trait that a person has is actually a skill. And since they're all skills, you can learn and practice and just do different stuff.
Maybe this is a sign of like threeness more so, where it kind of feels like part of clinging on to like, oh, I'm a bad person. Is it because it feels like a game I can win, where it's like once I pass a certain threshold, it's like, oh, then I'm just a good person, and then I win forever.
And a little bit of like, if I'm just inherently a bad person, then anytime I overcome it, then I have beat the game. I have won.
That tells me that you have both problems.
I mean, which is interesting because I hate type 3 people. Well, I don't hate them. I don't hate them. Hold on, let me take that back. But I find the most frustration with type 3 people. Okay? They're the ones who get under my skin for some reason. And maybe it's because I am fighting against this inner like instinct of mind where it's like I gotta be the best. And if someone's trying to be the best more than me, then I fucking hate them. But I don't, but I do.
Type 3 people.
Type 3-pole.
Type 3.
Wake up, type 3-pole.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're moving into the fear types.
All right.
Yeah, let's go.
Number 5. The world your inciting incident is that the world is chaotic or confusing and you are never safe.
The
So-
autistic one.
Yeah, this is the autism type. The world is chaotic or confusing and you are never safe. The solution is to make yourself into the safe space by achieving competence to create internal safety. Your way out of this is to value the chaos more than your retreat into your own mind.
Oh, that's so fucking hard.
That's what the manic pixie dream girl archetype is for in storytelling. Is she's supposed to be a chaotic person who you love more than you value your retreat into safety and familiarity.
Is that what I need? Do I need a manic pixie dream girl? Because I think...
I know a few. I could introduce you.
Oh dear. Then I'd have to talk to them, and then I'd have to get out of my mind. Like, see, like this is one of the bigger ones that I like think are one of my true problems. Like as much as I was talking about type 4, this is entirely my problem. Like one of the biggest reasons why I've not made videos recently, because in my head I am safe.
Another way out of that, since the coping mechanism is like to achieve extreme competence, is to take that competence and use it to lead instead of using it to retreat. Like once you've built up an expertise, use it.
Yep.
Yeah, which is basically what you did, kind of.
Yeah, that's why this is no longer a problem for me, is because I am maximally competent. Therefore, I am universally safe. Like,
Yeah, it's like your competence is like a double-edged sword, like with this 5 thing, where it's like if I use it, there's like the fear of like this might accidentally introduce more chaos or unintended consequences. So I should like only use it at the last possible minute. It's like that's sort of part of the minimizing that this problem tends to lead to, of like minimizing all kinds of things,
yeah,
because that reduces how many things you're having to track.
right. a big thing that produces this kind of like feeling of insecurity is you don't always know what to do.
Yeah.
And I discovered the master method. I always know what to do, and thus I am immune to anxiety. It took a long time, many dozens of hours of conversation for people to accurately communicate to me what anxiety even is, because it is such an alien thing to me. Never experienced it in my entire life.
What a fucking monster.
And like this is just not a part of my like world of perception. Like I'm colorblind, but instead of red I can't see, it's anxiety that I can't experience.
Yeah.
Because I always know what to do. And if I always know what to do, then I'm not afraid.
Hell yeah. Have you ever heard the idea that like gamers are like bad at open-ended problems? This reminds me of this a little bit.
Maybe modern gamers who aren't used to problem solving
Like
in their video games.
Like the addict gamer, where it's like there is like you know, you always have like waypoints and here's the objective.
Yeah.
Even if it's like semi-open, it's like I still know what to do.
Gamers, I want you to listen to me. Gamers, pull up real close.
Hey, gamers.
Hey, gamers. Hey. Oh, okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to open Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. And I want you to start a new game. I know that's going to be really hard for you because you spend a lot of time on that game. But I want you to load a new game and then immediately turn off the HUD. How much health do you have? Doesn't matter. You feel it. You're just going to have to keep track of that in your mind. Where are you walking towards? You look in a direction, and that is how you know what direction you're walking towards. You can check your map once in a while, but in general, you probably shouldn't do that. You should probably instead look around you, because the game is laid out in a way where you can orient yourself by looking around. You will have a much better time.
You're welcome, gamers.
Basically, y'all gotta play like games. Like I play RuneScape. What's currently my fancy? I'm just gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Disconnected from server? What the hell?
What indeed the hell? Okay, so type 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is an external threat, real or imagined, and you are given an easy answer. And like Ben Saint, you may accidentally align yourself to a worthy and good cause through no merit of your own. You find safety and certainty in contextualization, ideology, role, or the cause that is your in-group. You emotionalize facts. This is to be contrasted against type 4, who intellectualizes feelings. 4s intellectualize feelings. 6s emotionalize facts.
That's a good way of putting it.
Your way out of this is to realize that everything is actually more complicated than, more complex, more interlaced than you've been giving it credit for. You need to let go of the things that give you certainty, but limits you. And instead, you should trust yourself.
This is the thing that I was talking to Tarbuck about earlier when I mentioned that like I just brought up Enneagram on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Like thinking that like wondering if Tevye from Fiddler on the Roof is like he has type 6 because his whole thing is he like feels secure and understands himself in terms of being part of the Jewish community of Anatevka and their traditions. And anytime like those traditions get like challenged, that is his points of panic, his points of conflict.
Mm-hmm. He feels like he's on a precipice whenever one of these traditions of his is being challenged, because those traditions give him the structure.
Yeah. Like he understands himself and his world in terms of the roles of his society. He is the father. He's supposed to pick who his daughters marry. He's supposed to have the final say in his household. And as a Jewish person, and head of a Jewish household, his daughters will never marry outside of the faith, and they will always adhere to the traditions that he and his family, and his ancestors before him have always adhered to.
And without the structure, you feel lost. The structure that simplifies the world for you, so that you like, okay, actually, the world is not infinitely complicated. There's some rules that interact with each other, and that rules interacting with each other to produce interesting outcomes is what complexity is. It is simple. It's just not that simple. Not as simple as these things are making it out to be. Like, this is why, like, the easy answer and the preference for easy answer is why even when one of these type 6ers is like far left leaning, they're doing it not because they actually have the sincere belief in these leftward causes, although that may also be true, but because that provides easy answers. And the tendency towards oversimplification is an intensely conservative mindset.
Yeah. I very much don't feel this 6 thing. It's like, this is the type of person I look at and like just sigh.
Yeah.
They're like aliens to me. Like, I'm like, I get it, but also you're a fucking freak. This like tendency towards simple answers and structure and roles and roles that give certainty is why type 6s are so prone to joining cults. Like, you can see this in every QAnon. You can see this in all the flat earthers. Like,
I mean, MAGA.
Yeah, like, and I'm choosing like cults that are on the opposite side from me because I like to lambast those people. Fuck them. It wouldn't be here if it wasn't a problem. If it wasn't a problem, it wouldn't be on the list. So, type 7, the last of the fear types.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your inciting incident is that reality sucks and you don't want to examine it. To cope with this, you escape pain or escape reality into excess. You like, this is why you're drug prone. This is why you're like prone to dissociate by reading a book in a day. Like, what if I did the thing that makes me feel better? A lot. In fact, only. And that's because you're like that. You're using that as a way to not have to actually contend with the problem. In some cases, because you can't actually solve the problem. Maybe you live in a dystopia, i.e., you are a child. Your everyday living is to go to prison. You ever think about that? You ever think about how, like, basically everyone on Earth has the common experience of having gone to prison for a decade?
I was homeschooled. I dodged some of that.
Oh, wow.
But
lucky you.
Hit other things, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you got other problems.
Things that come with it, yeah.
The homeschool experience is like, either you're part of a, I guess, sort of a culty thing, or it's like pretty normal, and that's about it.
And there's not a middle space.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of fascinates me about the homeschool type structure, because growing up, I always thought of it as like a weird culty thing, but
Can be.
then I learned about, well, there are options out there for like homeschool people. It just depends on like if their parents take them, and like
Just don't suck.
Yeah, if your parents don't suck, then there are actually options for you to, like, the thing you always hear criticism about homeschool is, but when will they socialize with other children? Well, they do if the parents don't suck and they do, like, seek out opportunities for that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you're the kid, this is a lottery. But if you're the parent, just don't suck.
Yeah.
Just don't suck.
Yeah. Don't suck and, take it seriously.
Yeah, and also understand your own, like, the limits and stuff. Like, can you actually homeschool your child? Or are you just basically throwing them in front of a device and calling that school?
I have a lot to say about this topic of homeschooling.
Yeah.
I'm gonna...
When it comes to Enneagrams, I think I am eternally on the precipice, or, like, branching into type 7, like I think I flip between that and type 5 because while I look within myself and like find the most safety within myself, I do also do things and get obsessed with things as a distraction for dealing with problems that I can or cannot actually deal with, like problems in general.
Like, you have a tendency to pour yourself into abnegation games that leave you in a distracted haze for multiple hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's way easier than thinking about like anything else I have going on, any like problems that do need dealt with.
Which is unfortunate because the way out of this is to confront the fact of what you're running from.
Just do it.
I mean, like, if this is stalling tactic as a personality, so you would have the way out of it is to stop stalling.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the things that's actually really well depicted in media, like in fiction, because a lot of and then they got addicted to drug stories is entirely type 7. It's like you just get like into anything that distracts from your actual problems to the point where you're creating new problems because you can't deal with the ones you already have.
I relate to 5 quite a bit. Not so much to 6. And I relate to 7 mostly for a particular reason, and I'm sure many other trans folk out there will also relate. You just have this like filter over everything that like it just is horrible to be you because you can't relax into you because your body is just
Incorrect.
It is incorrect, yeah.
Your body is not you.
Your body hates you. Your body is not. It feels like you're flooded with poison all the time. And so, you dissociate, which kind of limits how much you can express yourself and
how present you can even be.
Yeah, all kinds of things. So like it's just such an overwhelming horrible thing to confront because it's like it's like the threshold is like extremely terrifying.
And it's internal, which makes it different from most other 7-oriented problems. Like a lot of 7-oriented problems are external in some way, and so you can fairly readily solve them with therapy or philosophy or introspection. The type 7 problem usually is one of the most beatable problems.
Yep. But I should amend that. Crossing it is worth it, and it makes it feel it is way easier to deal with when you cross the threshold, because like part of the fear is that like, oh, this is going to open up a whole host of problems, which maybe that ties in a little bit with like 5-ness as well. It's like this is going to introduce unmanageable chaos into my life. But if you cross the threshold, it's like you can now be you, and that makes everything like way easier. 100%. Like at least 10 times easier, if not like 100 times easier in a particular way. But yeah.
The thing about the fear types, the entire fear cluster, at the very least, the 5s and the 7s are correct. They're correctly appraising reality. It's just that they're often dealing with it in a way that doesn't work.
It doesn't work and can end up harmful to them.
Right.
And like, yes, reality does suck, but you're wrong for not wanting to examine it. Type 5s, the world is chaotic and confusing, but you can be safe. You even correctly identify some of the ways that can make you safe, but there's a difference between sensitivity and vulnerability. Like, retreating always does not build strength. It keeps you fragile, which creates the vulnerability that you're worried about.
It makes you less able in general because you're locking yourself out of certain things. Yeah. Because they're too dangerous. Or it feels that way.
And you need to, like, rough seas make good sailors, you know? You need to put yourself into these difficult situations, and it is bitter medicine. But you know what? Medicine tastes bad.
Don't feed into my type 4-ness.
Okay. Type 8, the people I understand the least.
Yeah, same here. I think it's because I'm like them the least.
Mm-hmm.
It's my, okay, maybe not like trouble with type 3, but similar.
The inciting incident that creates a type 8 problem is the world punches and you punched back. Thus, you learned to want control via power and directing your anger. Your anger is a weapon that you use to solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
The way out of this is to relinquish the control that it gives you, to accept vulnerability, a thing that type 8s hate, to accept vulnerability by desiring love more than control, because they're antithetical. You can't control a person into loving you. Conceptually, that's a contradiction.
Yeah, it is like the least relatable, but I also feel, I guess it was sort of like the anger thing we were talking about earlier, where it's like, I've sort of been getting a taste of like better ways to express it, and in a way that can like actually flow.
Now, to be clear, I think that hate, a certain amount of hate is good for you. And anger is always bad. I think that anger is fundamentally bad in all cases, and that anytime somebody suggests a case where anger is good, actually, they have to cram it through a whole bunch of caveats, and it's like, you can just have the caveat part without the anger part. Like those other extenuating circumstances. Somebody is like, well, wouldn't it help you to get mad if this bad thing happened and you had to defend yourself? No, just being able to defend yourself is sufficient. Like, you don't need to get mad. Being mad actually just makes you worse at everything. But it also makes you worse at appraising how good you're doing, so you wouldn't notice that you're worse at everything.
It's a chemically ruinous state.
Yeah.
We don't have much to say on 8, do we?
Yeah, we really don't have a whole lot to say about
Really.
8s.
They're like, you can tell this is the one one of the ones that I relate to the most, this and 6, because I have nothing to say about that.
Yeah, 8 is really basic. It's things not going my way, Hulk smash. Don't.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of like supremacist, or what's the best word? Like, basically, this is not my Enneagram problem, therefore I look down upon it a little bit, it feels
I mean, you should look down on... you should at least think that all the problems are bad things, you know?
Yeah, but like, it's my type 4 coming out again, where it's like, but I identify with this.
I just think that if you're a 6 or an 8, someone tricked you, and you need to stop clinging to the fact that they tricked you. Don't believe the lie, even if the person who lied to you is you. All right. Number 9.
Oh, this is mine. This is my biggest one.
Yeah, this is you. This is
me. This is my slightly author insert character
you're writing a
issue
book
as well. Yeah. I'm writing a whole book about a type 9 who is slightly just me.
This is also Shinji has a lot of problems. Did I this is spoilers for Vamp because Vamp has not seen Evangelion, but I have a whole document of Enneagram typing the Eva characters.
I feel like we mentioned that before somewhere.
Yeah, probably. Okay. But this is one of Shinji's problems. This is one of Rei's problems. This is probably Rei's biggest problem. Okay.
That says great things about me.
Yeah.
As like
the resident Rei.
Yeah, the resident Rei character around here.
Okay. So the type 9, your inciting incident is total disempowerment and instability. Leading, keeping with the theme of rage and control being intimately linked. Total disempowerment means like there is anger in there. It's repressed anger. Your cope is to repress that anger. You you act like this is fine, or at least it can't be changed. Like, that's just how things are. That's just how it is. And if I ignore how bad it is, then I can survive here because it's the devil I know. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't, as you say. But this is false, actually. That keeps you from moving. It is like stasis is bad for you. Staying in a bad situation is bad, actually. You need to embrace change and choose to resist the things that are bad and unfair. You do have agency and can exert that agency.
You see how it's easy for someone who has type 9 to also have type 4, like internalizing the I have no control over this. This is how the world works. This is just the cross that I need to bear. This is now my personality. Like the thing that I think best describes type 9 is what Local Script Man used in their videos. Like, you could even lower a ladder to this person and they just won't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that's not for me, surely.
Yeah, they don't believe in a way out.
Yeah, like, it's not that bad. It's fine. Or, like, I might go out into the world and, it might turn out to, like, someone will just murder me. It's better for me to stay here with my serial killer parent or something.
Yeah, I want to highlight how many of these issues revolve around a lack of agency.
Like, I was gonna say, like, these all tie into each other pretty well.
Yeah,
dealing with a lack of control.
Type 9, the entire fear cluster, and type 4s all have this, like, belief that at least about their problem, they have no agency. Some of them believe that agency doesn't exist or isn't really possible. Sometimes they only apply that to the one category of the problem that they have.
Or sometimes they use agency to try to, like, sort of power whatever they think will try to exert agency on them.
Yeah. Seeking control from a place of insecurity, like the type 8, and like the type 3, both of those are about, like misapprehending how you solve issues, I guess. Like, to solve things in a way that actually solves them and doesn't just, like, beat them into submission or something like that. Like, if the three believes that they're
I can manipulate you into liking me.
If I work hard enough, you'll like me. That's an agency problem. The 2 believes that if I am useful enough, you'll like me.
Yeah, agency again.
Yeah, these are all domains of control.
6 is a little weird around this because a lot of times those roles are the roles that they imagine are very active, but they make the roles or the ideology or the cause, etc., something that is, like, concrete and immutable.
It's sort of like outsourcing it in a way.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like the 4 or the 9, where it's like, I have no control, and so I'm kind of making it like, like I am identifying with being the underdog, or I am identifying with being the group that has control in some way.
Yeah, like, there's some powerful people over there, but we know what's really going on. And that gives you this, like, fake agency that you never do anything with because it's not real agency.
Yeah. Like, we're the only ones who know the truth. You're all sheeple. Like we have real agency here. We can actually make decisions unlike you guys.
All you 3 people out there.
Yeah. I think that's a really good way to frame basically all these types. Yeah, it's all about control. 7, they think they have no control, or, like, there's, like, they don't want to take control of the situation, and so they'll do everything to avoid it. 9s, they think they literally have no control.
And by the way, between the 7 and the 9, you can construct stoicism. That's what stoicism is like, it's the coping strategy turned ideology of slaves.
Mhm.
The idea of you can't change your circumstances, so you lean towards changing your reaction to your circumstances. That is still like denial of reality and escape, and trying to absolve yourself of the responsibility of having agency.
I think of that one story or something where a guy was like, God, give me this way out, or God, give me this way out. And then, like, person finally meets God, and they're like, why didn't you give me this way out? And God's like, I gave you a bunch of things, and you didn't fucking take it, dude. Like, just, like, the eternal, like, it's out of my hand, it's all in God's hand, or it's all in, like, some external factor's hands, but never my own.
Yeah, if you actually read the Bible, what happens over and over, or like the biblical structure of this would be you pray to God for a savior or for a champion, for a warrior who can like get those bad guys, and he'll tell you, look at your hands.
God doesn't agree
Be
with
the
the
change
type
you want to
4s.
see, you know?
Congratulations, it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even just be the change you want to see. It's like you are the change you see.
Yeah, exactly.
So make it happen.
Yeah, just do it.
You see how it can be changed. But like, there's no guarantee somebody else does or will, or if they do, that they'll be the one to take action.
And so, like, it's worth also highlighting that this a point that I leaned towards and then didn't close. I didn't close the circle. The fear types are also called the anxiety types.
Yeah.
I don't have fucking any of those problems.
Wow, look at you. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, look at this guy here. Oh, I don't have
Like, I can fear, but I don't have anxiety.
Wow.
Remember, guys, Tarbuck doesn't have anxiety.
Yeah, I'm immune to anxiety.
That's Tarbuck's brand.
Hi there. I've never experienced anxiety in my entire life.
Wow.
I should put that in my bio. If there's not room, but I should put that in my bio.
Yeah.
What if I like made your symbol into a pin and then found somebody who's really anxious and be like, hey, this will cure your anxiety. Just wear this. This is the symbol of immunity to anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really easy as a symbol to make.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, makes it really convenient as a maker's mark. Being able to like stamp it into a bunch of stuff is really, really satisfying.
Yeah.
Man, that's why I'm a failure of a maker. I don't have a maker's mark. I don't have a maker's mark.
Well,
you could do like vampire fangs or something.
Or something.
Turn that into a symbol.
Oh, well, they're not a vampire, so it would have to be normal human teeth.
Absolutely normal human things. I eat food and things.
Hello, fellow normal human. It is a great day to eat corn and pay taxes, is it not?
Did you guys ever play that game Magica?
I have it downloaded, but I haven't launched it yet.
That is.
The whole like joke is like from the beginning with this one character is that they're like extremely obviously a vampire and like have the like accent and everything, but the whole time they're like, I'm not a vampire, guys.
Oh, that's wonderful. That reminds me of Astive movie where it's the one cow like
Oh yeah, the cow.
Yeah, I am human. You want to go skateboard? You want to do skateboard or something?
All right. To close the circle on the rage types,
Yeah.
you can see that acceptable targets of rage, rules, etc. Type 1 is a rage type. Anger is bad, especially when you're a fascist.
But also, like, suppressing that anger is, like, to the point of never, like, accepting that you have it and, like, doing anything about it. That's also bad.
Have I ever had a type 1 problem? I kind of don't think so.
I guess if you had to, like, if we had to assign one of them to you, I could see it either going between a 9 and a 1, because you go hard on the people that you have deemed acceptable to hate.
Yeah, but that's because they deserve it.
That's a very type 1 answer, okay?
The point is not to direct anger. The point is to solve problems, stop having problems.
Yeah, stop having
Yeah.
problems by not having anger.
Anyway,
duh.
Zooming out to the whole chart,
Yeah.
you should note, again, that this is not really a which one of these is me the most, even though that is how I am experiencing it. It's just because I actually solve my problems.
Okay.
Really, this is a checklist. You have many of these, and you need to find where they are and then solve them.
Yeah, once again, I have problems with type 3s, and yet I also relate to them pretty strongly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not, I have this and this only type. This is mine. Don't be type 4 and, internalize your problems. You can change them. It doesn't have to be who you are. You don't have to make it your personality to have these issues.
Type 4 is very, emo goth.
Yeah, emo goth, where it's that's your brand. And if you take away the I'm sad, I have mental health issues, then you feel like you have nothing else to your personality. You have nothing left as a human being.
My brand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this is what makes me quirky. This is what makes me special. And if I don't have these problems, then I am nothing.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone who has type 4 problems. I love you guys. But also, y'all gotta chill out.
I feel like there's a definite element of the hate is stronger when you hate from a place of thorough knowledge. This is why nobody hates leftists like leftists.
Yeah. you gotta understand the thing to hate
It's that one meme of some dude with a gun and another guy pointing the gun at him, and everything is leftists. Just pointing guns at each other.
Image on screen, probably.
Yep. We're all Spider-Man pointing at each other.
Mm-hmm. Well, we managed to get another hour and a half out of that. That was great.
And I feel so. You remember how we started this whole thing talking about, man, I feel so released from this thing, I can move on. Well, now I can move on towards bed.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, next time I want to do the class specting.
I'll do my homework, I promise, teacher.
Okay, so next time I want to do class specting, how do you want to do that? Do you want to do some kind of presentation on it? Do you want to have light directions toward? Should we type ourselves in advance? Do you want us to type ourselves in the show? What are you thinking? It's your area, so you lead on that one.
Right. Yeah, there's different ways to go about it. I think you could go around the whole thing. Initially, I was leaning toward we come in with some ideas of what types we all are and sort of hash those out. That would be a more efficient way of going about it, since it's a very large thing. But I kind of feel like we'll inevitably end up going through everything anyways. So I feel like it's at least worth going around each aspect in each class. I don't think we have to worry too much about the other things related to lunar sway or the cast thing.
Oh, but lunar sway is cool.
Yeah, I guess
that's one of the easiest things to type about yourself, I think. Are you Durst or Prospit?
That's the hardest one. Maybe, I guess we should talk about that then, so... Yeah.
It's just picking between two things.
Yeah, but I don't know where the line is, personally. It's very difficult.
Yeah, okay. People contain multitudes. You can have many traits. But do you have more traits from this cluster or more traits from that cluster?
Yeah.
Now I have to quantify it, and that's the whole thing.
Well, thankfully, they're already listed, so you just, you could checklist it.
Yeah. Well, alright, so... Your homework, I assign at least, is Aura Barista's treatise on class specting, and then my class wheel PDF.
They made a video about that, right? The video version. I think I was. Yeah,
it's just a video reading.
A video that I am in, actually.
That's an older one. So yeah, they've iterated on it. So there's There's like the claspecting for assholes, which is the old
Yeah.
the old presentation, and then there's the treatise, which is both in PDF and audio format.
If I remember correctly, it was like 3 hours long, and I like fade into a distracted haze for the like middle 3/4 of it, and then I'm really good in the beginning and I'm really good at the end.
You're good on both ends, it seems. You got him.
I'm getting them from both ends.
Yeah. Well, next time on UTV, I guess, or whatever this ends up being called.
Yeah, oh yeah, I guess we haven't commented on what we want this thing to be called, and so by default, yeah, that's what this is. UTV, reflection of you. I lost it.
Write in the
Immediately.
comments what you think that means.
Yeah.
Come up with as many possible acronyms as you can.
Yeah, what do you...
You decide.
Folks at home, what do you think UTV stands for?
I think of it as like as a
like, reveal that on the next episode.
as a child of Chicago.
Uh-huh. Ah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Are you really? Because I don't know if you do.
Perhaps.
Will we ever find out? I don't know.
Tune in next time to find out.
We're never gonna follow up on this. We're gonna
Speculate
forget
in the comments.
in a week's time.
Urcoy will have edited it semi-recently by the time when we're recording the next episode.
I'm gonna forget it by the next time we record. It's all on you guys to remember this, because I won't. Unless you.
I mean, UTV is at the top of my mind, so.
Oh, okay. So, if one of you guys bring up UTV, then maybe I will remember. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.